Konnichiwa and welcome everybody back to Chrono Reviews and another Jurassic World toy from Mattel. And this time it's the Battle Damage Velociraptor Blue. And the reason I bought this one is because after seeing my friend J-Rex buying the jumping action blue that comes with Owen, in I think it's a story pack, just the same as the Gyrosphere and Claire, I fell in love with how much better it looked with the more detailed paint job compared to the attack pack, making the attack pack look pretty plain. And I want to try something without Owen because I'm pretty pleased with the Owen I have, and if I'm buying a second Owen, it's probably the Lockwood Battle one, so I get Owen with a gun and stuff. But at first when I saw those online and all that, I thought like the wound part looks bad compared to rubber wound parts that Kenner made. But having it in person, I'm actually not that bothered. I think it looks pretty decent. And this one does not have the big feet like the jumping action blue have. I'm still sort of considering getting the jumping action blue because it was quite awesome anyway. But we'll see. We'll see what I do. But this one we'll have to do for now. And as far as I can tell so far, it's really great. And I bought it online, so you have to excuse the package being a little bit damaged here. But I had to buy it online because it's a Walmart exclusive. I'm pretty sure it's Walmart, because the Legacy Collection are Target. So yeah, we don't have Walmart or Target in Sweden, so I have to buy those online. It's quite sad though that almost half the assortment that Mattel is making are exclusives, and those exclusives are in stores that only exist in the US. It feels like a big bitch slap towards the rest of the world. I mean, I like exclusives because it feels nice to own an exclusive figure, but come on, give the rest of the world some goods. Anyway, the internet exists, so I'm not going to have a rant about that. Let's check out the package before opening the blue up. So it says Velociraptor Blue, pretty standard. It's the cage design, so it's not a clam package this time around. And it have the lava volcano background, but this one says Battle Damage here. And there is Jurassic World, and there is description on the back showing you how you can use the wound part. And there's also about the Jurassic Facts app. And there's some others in the same series. There's a Pachycephalosaurus, a Herrerasaurus, Stygimoloch, and a Triceratops. And on the side here, it's also the same standard layout. Alright, here she is, blue opened up, and I must say this one is so much better than the attack pack. I mean, I did praise the attack pack a lot when it came out and when I first got it, but comparing to another better blue, I must admit that the attack pack got nothing on this. Don't get me wrong, it's still a decent toy. I'm going to get into detail of that when it's time for comparing the two. But first off, let's check the details on this one. It does have a nice paint job. I mean, the gray is basically the same as the attack pack, but it have this white lining on the blue parts, which means everything on blue. I mean, it really does. And the stripe continues all the way to the tail. That's good. And on the same, so just like with the attack pack, it have blue all around the eye on this side but not on this side, and just like with the attack pack, I did check it up and blue is supposed to be that way. So it's totally correct, and Mattel have done a great job on doing research on that. And secondly, the underbelly is painted in a brighter color, which is also really nice. And also the claws on the feet are painted. Of course not on the arms, but on the feet they are painted. So this one have a total of 1, 2, 3, 4 different colors on the body, discounting the eyes and the inside of the mouth, of course. So getting into the articulation, the head can go, well, all around, but it's pretty much unlimited. The head are ball jointed, which is a great bonus. The jaw can open, and there's a nice clean paint job there on the tongue. It's a little bit missing on the top of the teeth, but it's a minor thing when the rest is so good. Just a note, even Mattel and Kenner have those minor mistakes. But as I've said with the Hasbro stuff, the problems are not that many that they stack up. And the arms are also ball jointed. They're also a little bit soft, so they will not break. And the legs are also, they can go outwards slightly like this. And they are also jointed, but they sort of clicks into different modes. So it's sort of hard to pose, but and the wounding action, it actually works like this. If it's pressed inwards, it will go down. So it's a spring making it go down, and when it goes back up, it clicks back in when it's forced outwards. This is quite nice though, that it falls down that easily, because if you slash like this, so you can have another carnivore or another raptor or anything, slash her like this. So in the slashing process, the wound opens up quickly. It makes for a great action actually. I still don't like the peg, but I suppose it's needed to stop it from going too much down and to click it back up. But in general, this is a quite nice feature. For being very skeptical on it, I actually like it. I still sort of want to display her from this side though, but hey, it's a nice feature. A lot better how compared to what Hasbro did. Hasbro actually did one of those wounds nicely. It was the Indominus, because they hid this knob among all the other knobs or spikes, like Carnotaurus back armor spikes sort of things. So they hide this among those, and that was quite nice. The problem is that Blue do not have those, so we have to live with this. But I think it's a nice feature. And before I go into comparisons, here is the Jurassic Facts app for this version of Blue. So let's get straight into how she sizes up. With the attack pack. So at first glance they are very similar in sculpture, but it stops there because they are not the same sculpture. The legs have the same detail in general, but this leg sits further up on the hip, this one is further down, which is, it actually looks better on this one. So this leg is more stretched out upwards, so it's a little bit more neutral in posing, and this Blue have, yeah, the claws are not painted, but they are a little bit more glossed. And the head in general is same sculpt. I think they have computer models so they can cut them up to make different joints and stuff if they need to produce another toy. But still, I think it's neat that they actually do different versions and not just one and then repaint it over and over. I think it's nice that they actually do fresh sculptures on them. I mean, this Blue have a little bit turned body like this. very minor, but it's a nice touch, making it posture more alive when the legs are... This one is straight, making it less dynamic when the one leg is backwards. And the heads are basically similar, but come on, look at how different it looks with and without the white on the stripe. It makes a huge difference. Size-wise they are quite similar, but this blue have the potential to stand taller because of the taller leg. The arms are a little bit more neutral in pose, which I love because it's more the classic raptor posture on the arms, and it's way better. But I don't get it. Why did they do this blue without the white stripes? I mean, it's like they have the basic color and one extra color, which is this blue. I'm not counting insides of mouths or eyes now. I mean body colors. Most of the tack packs have two, but blue have only one. Only this blue stripe. That's the only color that blue have. If you compare that to the Gallimimus, it have the underbelly and the brown stripes on top of the eyes and stuff. It have two colors. They could have added the white stripe on this blue or the underbelly. I would have preferred the stripe, but if I would be picky I would have liked both. Maybe not the claws, but they could have painted the underbelly and made a stripe on this blue as well. And looking at the Dilophosaurus, it have both a red here, sort of printed, and another red on, that's two in one of the red, and a darker green around the eye, and stripes on the tail. It have three colors on top of the normal green. And the Dimorphodon, it have two colors. It have the dark black color around the eye and the color under the wing. And that adds up to two colors, but blue have only one color. This is something that have struck me right now. I don't get it why they did like that, but alright. This one is not as good as I first thought it to be, because I was overjoyed when I first got it. But at first now when I compare to something better, I realize this is not that good. It's probably the worst of the attack packs when it comes to painting, because I've seen the previews of the Wave 2 attack packs with Stiggy and that, they have more colors. So if you want a cheap toy, this is still good. The sculpture is still good. And it's still a good raptor. I still love it. But I just love this more now. So I still recommend this. So it's not like my review of this is wasted now. But if I have to choose one of the two, I recommend this more. So with that said, let's just take a look how blue looks together with Owen. I think this looks awesome. I mean, this is the Raptor Wrangler and his raptor. I think it's really cool. This blue is really great. And you can do all sorts of poses. I mean, you can if you do a low pose, you can make a lower pose like this, like she does before attacking. And you can do this. She calls for other raptors. I mean, those poses, they are so good. I mean, it looks great. It's dynamic. This figure of blue is really dynamic. It's really great. I mean, you can have her in all sorts of poses. It's so much positive aspects on this version of blue that makes me... I can't even bother to hate on the wound feature anymore. Because at first I thought, no, I'm not going to buy that blue. It have a better paint job, but I don't want it because the wound looks bad, I said. But I looked at it more, and I saw other people reviewing it, seeing that it does not look that bad. And when I got it myself, I think like, whoa, this is really good. And I'm pleased. And I have no regrets. I'm really glad I chose to actually buy this. And it makes me consider getting a few more. Maybe the Gallimimus, because I think that Gallimimus is slightly bigger than the Attack Pack Gallimimus, and because the Attack Pack Gallimimus is sort of a bit too small, but I still like it though. And maybe the Triceratops, but the Triceratops seem a bit more lacking in color compared to this blue. Like if it was an Attack Pack Triceratops. But I like Triceratopses, so I might want to get it to have another. And maybe Stiggy, but there are already 2 Stygimolochs I want. I want Attack Pack Stygimoloch and the ramming head action Stygimoloch with the Mercenary, because I like ramming action. You will see that in my next review, because I will review the Pachycephalosaurus. But what can I say? I highly recommend this blue. It's really, really good, and I mean, it went over my expectations. If you want to buy one blue and you have access to buying this one, buy this one instead, because it's not that much more expensive than the Attack Pack one. The Attack Pack one isn't that much cheaper. It makes this one much more worth it. If you want one that looks really good. If you just want the basic Attack Pack because it's easy to get, then sure. But if I have to choose one of the 2, this is the one I choose. So until next time, I hope you found this review useful. So take care and sayonara.